Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. I am so happy to be sitting here today recording an episode for you all. I've missed podcasting and connecting with you in this way so much, and this episode is going to be a life update episode. Before I get into that, I wanted to share that I have a very special life coaching offer happening right now, and it's called May Magic. So from now until May 9th, I am accepting applications through a Google form, which is basically you, if you're interested in coaching, setting intentions, letting me know what your budget is and what type of support, such as one-to-one coaching sessions or WhatsApp or Voxer support, would be the most helpful for you in your journey right now. And within 72 hours, I will respond to you with an offer that is aligned with your intentions and your budget, and we can work together. This is the first time I've ever offered something like this, and I feel really excited about it because typically the minimum that I'll do for coaching is a 3-month package, and those are high tier, high touch support packages. But I just feel inspired to open up my practice to more and more people. I feel like what I've recently been through in my life has opened up a lot of space for more clients, for more opportunities to connect and serve people. And so I'm following my intuition with this one. So if you've ever felt the nudge to coaching, or even if you're a previous client and you're ready for a bit more momentum along your journey right now, then fill out the form that'll be down in the description box for May Magic, and I'll be in touch with you very soon. So yeah, I hope to hear from you. If you've ever felt that call to coaching, now's a perfect time to try it out. There's something really special about the energy of May. I can already feel it. At the time of recording this episode, it's April 29th, but I can feel already things shifting that are up ahead. May, to me, feels a lot brighter than the past few months have been, so I'm just spreading those vibes with all of you. The best is yet to come. So where have I been since I last recorded a podcast episode for you all? So my last recording was in February, and there was a lot going on in my personal life at that time, which is why I abruptly stopped recording. I had every intention around starting off the year strong, getting back into podcasting consistently, but something happened in my personal reality, and that is that my brother passed away. So my brother was diagnosed with leukemia on January 18th, and on February 18th, he passed away in hospital. So that was extremely devastating for myself, my family, for all of the people who loved him and were connected to him. He had such a beautiful circle of friends in his life. And yeah, it's been a tragic, devastating loss for so many of us. My brother was truly such an incredible soul, and I have such a desire to share all about him. Those of you might already know this information as I created a YouTube video. I can leave that down below as well if you're interested in hearing a bit more about grief. If it is something that you're navigating in your life presently, or you're just curious, I'll leave that down below. But yeah, grief opened up an entirely new reality for me. So for the last 2 months since it happened, I have been healing. I have been learning a lot about myself. I have been missing my brother a whole lot. I have been opening, I would say, my connection to the other side and with God Source Universe. There's just been a lot of healing on a lot of different levels. And grief, as challenging as it might be to navigate, I want to say this for any of you who are going through it. One thing that one of my coaching clients actually said to me when she reached out after my brother passed was that she recently lost someone very close to her in her life. And she said, someone mentioned to me, look for the gifts. And it wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to hear at the time, but it was very powerful for me. And so I knew as soon as I heard that, look for the gifts. I'm like, of course, there's gifts in everything. Innately, I've always believed that everything is happening in my favor. This circumstance is incredibly challenging to digest in that way. And if I'm being completely honest with you all, I haven't quite gotten there yet. But I have received tremendous gifts from my brother, from the universe, from God. I mean, however you want to term it. I use God, source, universe interchangeably and have on this podcast. So, if God doesn't resonate with you, just replace it with universe. I'm talking about source energy, the beautiful, loving energy that is around us all the time. So there's been gifts, there's been lessons, there's been teachings. And I have been writing down a lot of the lessons that have been integrating for me. And I'm definitely going to be creating a bit of a series on this podcast here around grief. I'm still going to be sharing the life lessons, the mindset hacks, everything that I love to share. But sprinkled in now, which hasn't been a part of the journey on Note to Self so far, will be the introduction of some content in regards to grief. So I am so sorry for any of you who have received or experienced a devastating loss in your journey of life so far. It is the most challenging thing. To me personally, it's been the most challenging chapter of life I've ever experienced. And I will say that my soul, has been through a lot so far in my 33 years of life, but this has been the utmost challenging. So I'm sending any of you out there a big hug if you've lost someone or if grief is presently a part of your journey, but know that there's supportive content coming your way. And I'm going to switch gears now. I'm going to share a bit about what's been happening in my life outside, kind of intertwined with the grief journey. Of course, it's something that's very present for me, but I'm going to be sharing now just about other things that I've been experiencing, such as the fact that I'm podcasting right now from Mexico City. I am currently living in Mexico City with my partner, Dan, and our dachshund, Charlie. And I love Mexico City. I am enamored with this place, the people, the culture, the food, the greenery, like all around. There's just so much vibrant greenery. It's such a beautiful city, and it's been so wonderful to experience. I hadn't previously been here before deciding to move here, and that's been such an adventure on its own. It's been beautiful too, because this is my partner's first time going fully remote, like digital nomad type lifestyle. So for me, it's the norm, or has been the norm for the last decade, but to witness his growth and evolution and the things that excite him has been really beautiful and special for me, especially in navigating the loss of my brother. I feel like what I've really been seeing is that two things can be true. I can be deeply heartbroken by the loss of my brother, but I can also be so deeply happy with where I am at in my life and the relationship that I have, the family that I have, the life that I continue to build for myself. So yeah, that's been one of those glimmers, I guess you could say, a big glimmer, a big bright light in my life, is that I'm living life to the fullest as I love to in Mexico City. And I've been sharing a lot of the journey on Instagram, especially through Instagram stories. If you guys are interested in following me there, it's at Zoe Ariel. And let me know if you've been to Mexico City. I'd love for you to reach out and let me know what some of your faves are. If there's a favorite spot for food, for tacos. Tacos are food, but you know what I mean. There are some really amazing spots for tacos here, and I love tacos. Yeah, some of you also asked on Instagram about what my travels are for the rest of the year, what's been planned out, where I'm going to go. And it's all been planned out officially pretty much as of last week. I think my partner and I locked all of our locations in, flight dates, everything like that. And I got to say, organization just allows you to feel a lot more solid and optimistic about your future. So if there's any place in your life where you feel like you could create a bit more structure, optimism, ease, organization of some kind, it always goes a long way. So I've decided I'm going to keep our travels a bit of a secret. I'll let you know we are in Mexico City until July. So we actually, within the first week of landing here, extended our stay by 2 months because we realized there's so much to explore here. We love it so far. it's exactly what we were looking for. It was easy to dive into productivity and get into routine here and feel creative. So it just felt like a place that we wanted to stay longer. And that's the beauty of the freedom-filled lifestyle of working remote or working for yourself, is that if you do fall in love with the place, you can stay longer. If you do feel like something is pulling you in with any location, you can just get up and go. So that's been really special. In regards to some other travel plans that I can share with you, is that I'm actually going down to Costa Rica at the end of May. I am going to take part in an iboga retreat for myself at Iboga Wellness Center. Those of you who would follow my journey on YouTube more closely, you know that iboga has been a big part of my life in the past couple of years. I've gone down quite a few times to support for retreats, but I'm actually going back to do the medicine myself for a full retreat with the intention of healing grief and the loss of my brother. So I will definitely be documenting that for YouTube. I'm sure you might hear a little bit about it on the podcast here, but my intention is to really clean and clear out the grief that I feel in my body. I've been doing my best to process it every day, but as we know, especially from listening to this podcast, I've definitely shared my connection with metaphysical anatomy with you all, which is that the emotional root of any physical manifestations in our body are from trapped or stored emotions over time, and grief being something that was and has been so intense to process. As much as I would like to say I'm showing up and doing all the work, I know that there's a lot of work to do. So I'm committing to that journey, and I'm actually really looking forward to it because this medicine, iboga, is something that has supported me tremendously in my life. It's something that I very much trust. It's something that I very much have witnessed miracles in myself and others. And I immediately just knew that when Kale passed, it was something that I had to do for myself. And we'll share more of that with you all. And I'm just intending for my highest possible healing and growth through that journey. So other than that, there will be some family time throughout the year. There will be some time to see friends from the past. I'm excited to share that with you guys too, because I'm going to be reconnecting with some people who, if you followed along on my journey or you know me personally, you'll see some familiar faces. And friendship is just such a beautiful gift of life, and I'm very grateful for that. Speaking of friendship, one of the notes that I had here that I want to share with you is that I feel like I've been really learning a lot around relationships, specifically equal energy exchange in relationships. After losing my brother, perspectives shift on reality, priorities shift, values become very clear. There's a lot of accelerated clarity, healing, transformation that happens immediately and gradually, of course, over time. But one of those things that has been at the forefront for me is almost doing a relationship audit, like with the friendships in my life more specifically, because after my brother passed, I was able to really see who reached out and who didn't or hasn't, and who's been incredibly supportive and who's been surprisingly not supportive. I don't really share ever too vulnerably about that kind of stuff on the podcast, but it has been something that I've been navigating because through the loss of my brother, there's been a lot of clarity around friendships, and it's a part of life. I understand it. It's definitely something I've spoken about on the podcast before, but it's presently a lesson that's been digesting as I've sort of gone a bit more introspective lately and really brought clarity to which connections in my life feel like they're truly uplifting and which ones feel like they're draining. And after digesting it, or in the process of digesting it, liberation and freedom comes from that, because I know that I don't need to have a huge circle of friends to feel good. I actually very much value the friendships that I do have. And of course, some of those have been for over a decade in my life, some of them just in the past few years. But I really have an idea around what connections in my life feel healthy and supportive. And I do feel really grateful for the clarity that losing my brother has shown me in this area. So yeah, that's just a lesson that's been integrating and been brought to the surface through this. And I wanted to just share a little bit with you today. I trust that this podcast in some ways is a mirror for people. And so if there are relationships in your life that don't really feel like they're, a 50-50 energy exchange, of course, it's not always going to look like that. But if you feel like you're not supported by people around you, or you feel like there's a bit of a draining energy versus an uplifting energy, just listen to yourself when you have those feelings. Inquire with yourself when you have those feelings, whether it's journaling it out or speaking about it in a coaching or therapy session, or just spending some time meditating on it. Really honor those messages that come through around the people that you spend time with, because they rub off on you. And I've noticed a lot of positive change from distancing myself from people throughout my entire life who didn't really feel true, healthy, or overall just authentic and supportive to my journey. So yeah, not always an easy lesson to learn, but again, it's something that I've been navigating myself. So I just wanted to share that with you. Other notes that I have here on sharing with you is things that I've been absolutely loving lately. And one of those things is Dr. Joe Dispenza. I mean, no surprise, but I do feel like I've gravitated towards his content a lot through grief. I have been doing his meditations for over a month consistently every single day, at least once a day, sometimes 2-3 times a day. And it's been something that I really have celebrated and look forward to. And I've seen beautiful, miraculous changes in myself and in my life because of it. And one thing I'll say too is that the nudge to commit to the Dr. Joe meditations, for those of you who don't know, Dr. Joe is just an incredible human being who has really created such change and transformation when it comes to people being more aware of the power of meditation in the Western world. And he speaks about the mind-heart connection, the mind-body connection. I'm like very, very briefly summarizing his work. If I can lead you anywhere, just go to a podcast, type in Dr. Joe Dispenza, listen to a podcast. I listened to a really good one the other day from Diary of a CEO. And I just love listening to him speak, because he speaks a lot about the neuroscience of change. And I, as a certified professional life coach, specialize in transitions, which is change, which is people navigating different changes in their life, whether it's moving to a different country, moving across the country, moving jobs, or just desiring to create big changes in their careers and where they're going, or their lifestyle, or their productivity, etc. I love change. I love understanding change on a deep level, and that's why I gravitate towards his content so much. But I got the nudge probably around November of last year, as things were really shifting in my life, deciding to go fully remote with my partner for a year. And I just had this inkling that Dr. Joe Dispenza's classic famous morning and evening meditations would be something that I would love to implement in my life. It didn't quite feel like the right time until my brother passed. And then it was like, yeah, this is something that I'm going to create time and space for every day, because mornings have been a time of deep healing and processing for me. And I've remained consistent ever since. I will say it has been easy to remain consistent. Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations on his website range anywhere from, I think, 20 minutes to like over an hour. I've started with the morning and evening meditations, which are just over half an hour each, and I do them at least once a day. So I'm meditating for over half an hour a day, and it's been awesome. They're guided meditations, and like I said, I've received incredible change and transformation already, and I just love them. I love the quantum content. It represences me to the power that I have as a creator of my own reality. And for me, it's been a lot of releasing victim consciousness, which is a very low level energy, right? Thinking that, why is this happening to me? This sucks. I'm being punished. God source universe is not listening to me, or, whatever. I'm just giving some narratives that I feel like I've been purging through the grief journey. And Dr. Joe really speaks into powerful change that we're all capable of when we decide that we're the creators of our own reality. So anyways, it's just been profound. I could babble on about this forever, but I won't. But you can trust that there will be some reflecting on the meditation journey, what's been changing in my life since I took on this experiment for myself, because lots of good things. And a last thing that I've really been loving is yin yoga. So yin is my favorite type of yoga to do. It is the slower yoga, I would say, where you hold poses for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. I took long yin yoga classes in Bali, like a 3-hour class every Thursday. And sometimes we were holding poses for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. That was so powerful. There's just something about yin that really gets me deep into my body and in a state of active listening with what it's trying to tell me. There's emotional release that comes that's been incredibly supportive, especially with the emotions that I've been navigating. But I really just love how it connects me so deeply with myself. So I've been doing yin 4 to 5 times a week, and it's been a beautiful part of my morning routine. It's something that I would definitely recommend to people who are looking to slow down a bit, to release tension in the body, to become more in tune with your body and its messages and signals. It's just beautiful. I feel like I can wake up in the morning, I might feel a bit of tension, I might feel some emotions. I go to a yin class and I feel light, I feel uplifted, I feel at ease. And it's just a beautiful transformation to have day to day. So anyways, I will conclude the podcast here. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been a part of my journey. Thank you to every single one of you who have reached out about my brother. I appreciate you so much, and I really am so grateful for those of you who have followed along my journey or been with me over time, because it just means the whole world to know that I have support and prayers and thoughts that all of you were sharing during that time or during this time. It just does so much for my heart and my soul, and I'm deeply grateful for you. And for those of you who are interested in May Magic, the application will be down below. The application spots are limited. It's open until May 9th. Everyone's welcome. Previous clients, I would love to work with you again, as always. And just sending you all so much love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And I'll be chatting with you again very soon.